Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cinema Synergy, because for every halfway original idea, there's a studio willing to do it again, and again, and again.
And again, but with moxie, and with weird casting choices that totally won't have long-term consequences.
Exactly. I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll, pronouns he, him.
And I am Greg, aka also pronouns he, him. That is a palpable pause.
Did you just leave out the second part of AKA? I feel like you said AKA, and then you just went straight into... I don't think you said AKA
No, I
Greg.
said...
I think... Huh.
I mean, AKA Greg. There we go. We're off to a great start. How do we always mess up the start of these?
I don't know. But... doesn't matter. This is a series where we take a look at a movie that's coming out soon in theaters, and we ask ourselves, what's something we can take a look at that's related, sometimes tangentially, sometimes directly to that. We had a lot of options this month, but mostly for scheduling purposes, we decided to do a tie-in to the Fantastic Four First Steps, coming out probably around the same time. It'll probably be out when this is up, hopefully. We'll see.
Hopefully.
And we're taking a look at I'd comfortably say second worst out of all the Fantastic Four movies they've made up until now.
Yeah, because the only ones I've seen are this one and Fan4stick.
And I'll level with you, I kind of wanted to do Fan4stick, but my doctor said that I can't handle any more popped blood vessels from watching that movie. So!
And by his doctor, he means me.
I have been advised by multiple sources not to watch that movie again. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So... as a result, we're settling for second place, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. The only Fantastic Four sequel so far, 2007, directed by Tim Story, who in addition to the first Fantastic Four film, the first of these Fantastic Four movies, because there was technically one before this that never got a theatrical release that I may or may not have a bootleg copy of. I don't, wink wink. But,
oh boy.
Funny enough, he also directed both of the ride-along movies.
Really?
Tom and Jerry, which we won't hold against him.
Okay.
And The Blackening.
Oh, that's a mixed bag. That is a very mixed bag of accolades.
That is an interesting as heck resume.
That is so all over the place in terms of quality.
So, this being a sequel, the character dynamics are established. Reed and Sue are in love, they're trying to get married. The Fantastic Four are now universally beloved heroes after, I guess, saving the world from a monster partly of their own making, that being Julian McMahon's Dr. Doom.
Not a great Dr. Doom. Or at least voice-wise, not a great Dr. Doom.
And I feel so bad saying that now, because he just passed away, and I really don't mean to speak ill of the dead, so let me say straight up, I don't think it's his fault that he's not a particularly good Dr. Doom. I mean, he's not a great pick, but I think that's more of a writing and casting problem, because it's also just not a great Dr. Doom in general. I think, if you flip the script a little bit, he'd be a really good Lex Luthor.
He would have been a great Lex Luthor. He's got the petty evil scowl down and everything.
He'd be kind of a nice, I think, mix between Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey. Finding that happy medium,
Yeah.
But they've saved the day. They're now beloved the world over. They're the only superpowered freaks on the planet.
Super freaks, super freak, it's super freaky.
I really hate the fact that that's a really good segue. This movie is weirdly interested in the Fantastic Four sex lives.
Yeah, it is.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, the comics have touched on it here and there. There's a reason they call him Mr. Fantastic, apparently.
Oh my.
There's also a reason he and Sue are still very happily married, wink wink. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
That really doesn't play into this movie, but there's a bunch of jokes very early in when they're trying to get married at the start, and Johnny brings a date, and the press asks the date, what's it take to date the Human Torch? And she says, fireproof lingerie and a lot of aloe. That's horrifying. Is he flaming on during sex?
That's a horrifying thought.
Johnny, you sick fuck, what are you into?
This is why I'm glad I'm not a stand-up comic, because my brain just thought of a few bits of material from that. He's just, getting it on. Flame on.
Don't worry, I'm gonna cut this, but I just want to throw it out there, because if I have to suffer with this in my head, so do you.
Oh! Flaming Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck me.
The best part, maybe I'll keep it, but I'll bleep it, so they'll never know.
Yeah.
They'll never understand what I have taken from them, but they will be grateful for their ignorance.
Oh, indeed.
And then there's another bit where Johnny explicitly asks Ben how he and his girlfriend get intimate, and, you know, I feel like this is part of the thing that a lot of the Fantastic Four movies have never properly nailed down, which sometimes they do all right, but they're inconsistent about it is probably the better thing to say, where a lot of the times it feels like... Oh boy. Parts of the four can barely tolerate each other. A lot of the times it's Johnny and Ben, where what's supposed to be playful banter goes a little too far into, that's actually super hurtful, what are you talking about?
Right.
And it carries over here when Johnny directly asks about their sex life, and Ben rightly points out that's none of your business, and Johnny says, I'm just concerned. I'd hate to wake up one morning and find out she was killed in a rock slide, which, holy shit, Johnny!
Damn, dude. Johnny! I forgot about that line, honestly.
I know you're the Human Torch, but I expected you to have at least some chill. What the hell?
And people think that Chris Evans just became crazy and slightly edgy in his roles after Captain America. Nah, son.
No, it's really funny when we all collectively went, oh, this is interesting after watching him play Cap for 8 years, but the thing is, before he was playing Cap for 8 years, he was doing more stuff like Ransom from Knives Out, or whatever the guy's name is from Red One. This is a return to form. This is not a new thing.
And it's great.
Yeah, it is.
We probably say it too much at this point, but it's the whole thing. How's the acting going? Looking at his entire resume.
How's it look like it's going?
Starting from, like, Scott Pilgrim to now.
That's good. There's a bunch of weird climate stuff going on all across the globe. Cosmic radiation spikes, the likes of which haven't been seen in years. And Reed really wants to get to the bottom of it, but he has to focus on his wedding. And he's bad at that.
Believe it or not, this man is bad at having his complete focus on Jessica fucking Alba.
Right? Right. I will say, I feel like the best pick for the four, casting-wise, in this is probably Michael Chiklis as the Thing, because Chris Evans is alright, but his Johnny's a little too awful, which is more of a script problem, but he has very little issue selling me on Johnny being terrible.
Right.
Then there's Jessica Alba, who was not... No, actually, yeah, probably
I think she's fine.
Well, yeah, that's the whole reason she's in this movie, but...
Oh my god.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all, but it is just harking back to the whole thing. It's like, yeah, we need to reshoot. The way you died wasn't sexy enough, so...
Yeah, we need you to cry pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The director even said they could CGI the tears in. She almost quit acting because of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're jumping way ahead with that, but whoo boy. I mean, I feel really bad talking down her performance, but it's not great. I feel like one of the most memorable bits is her just screaming in panic when she gets Johnny's powers on accident, and it's not a good scene. It's actually kind of nails on a chalkboardy, but it's the main thing I remember.
Oh yeah, it's genuinely horrifying.
Other than, is she concentrating on that zit the whole time?
I'm upset that question never gets answered at any point in the movie, because someone has to ask that.
That feels like an obvious joke to have pop up at the end of the movie. Instead, she gets a zit on the day of the first wedding, and she turns it invisible with her powers instead of applying makeup and says, now I need to do nothing but concentrate on that for the next 8 hours. And, if it's invisible, shouldn't we see... It shouldn't look like it's not there. We should see... It should look like she's got a wound on her head, because the skin is part of the zit, right?
Yeah.
So when she makes the zit disappear, it should look like she's got a cut or something on her head, but that's not the real crazy part. The real crazy part is for the whole rest of the movie, we never see that zit again, up to and including when she dies.
Which is nuts, because you think if she dies, it's like, alright, we've deactivated the invisible powers. Nope, the zit is still gone.
Maybe she took care of it in between scenes. I don't know. I just think that would be a really funny joke, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She comes back to life, and then she finally lets go of the concentration and the zits back. There you go. Spoilers for this almost 20-year-old movie, I guess.
Oh my god. Because this came out in, 2007?
Yeah.
I was in 7th grade.
Same. It turns out that all these climate problems are caused by the Silver Surfer, a mysterious being who's come from space and heralds the coming of something even bigger and something badder. So, he crashes the Fantastic Four's first wedding, kind of not meaning to, it just sort of happens, and Johnny ends up trying to confront him, gets in a fight, gets his ass kicked, and now he's got volatile cosmic radiation that causes him to swap powers with any of the four who he makes contact with, so that's fun.
Hence this thing of Sue Storm being on fire and screaming uncontrollably.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be funny, but it's really not, and then I feel really bad for her because her clothes get incinerated and she's naked again, and that just reminds me of the fact that the whole reason they got Jessica Alba for this is because she's hot. And...
Well, yeah, she was on fire.
Oh my god.
Okay, that could probably be cut.
No, that's staying in. If I have to live with it, so do you.
I'm genuinely disappointed in myself.
That makes you, me, and however many of us are watching. But anyways.
Right.
You're in on it. You're disappointed too, right? You know how you can show that you're disappointed? Hit the like button, ring the bell, leave a comment.
By liking the video. I'm so disappointed that I like this video.
Yeah, exactly. Your approval fills me with shame.
I think there's other ways to do that also makes people more money.
Oh man, this is all over the place already. So they get recruited by Andre Braugher, not playing Captain Holt, but instead playing General Hagar. He was supposed to be Nick Fury, but they would have had to buy the rights from Marvel, and I think Marvel was also not interested in selling, because this would have been about the time that they were working on Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, so...
Oh, okay.
They probably weren't in a big hurry to sell any other character rights that they could use for themselves. Actually, they probably wouldn't have been able to sell the Nick Fury rights, because I think the Nick Fury rights were tied up in I think it was the Merrill Lynch deal that got them the initial financing for their first few movies, so the rights wouldn't have been theirs to sell anyway.
Okay.
Huh. That's a fun little web of complicated relationships there.
A web of shadows?
No. Wrong studio.
Sorry.
God, a lot happens in the middle of the movie, but I don't remember.
I mean, we basically get Mr. Fantastic fighting with the government in regards to what to do with the Silver Surfer, while also trying to maintain his relationship with and encourage Sue that everything's going to be okay, while Johnny also dealing with post-superpower swap depression? Is that a thing?
It's not depression, it's just, I think he's kind of feeling like the outsider of the team, both because he's the one who doesn't have a relationship, and also because he's catching on to the fact that nobody trusts him to be anything other than the bonehead.
Fair. I mean, with the relationship bit, harking back to the joke that unfortunately I took too long to get because I don't pay attention to the comics, where Johnny asks Lisa, she's like, have you ever seen any of my girlfriends? She just goes, no, I haven't. Which... Yeah,
you didn't realize she was blind.
Yeah, I thought she was just being a smartass. I'm like, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know she was blind because I don't know anything about Alicia Masters.
Well, there was the whole bit where Johnny was amazed that she knew it was him coming into the kitchen before he said anything. But, okay, fine.
Orange chicken sounds good. How did you know? What do you mean, how did she know?
Good old Madam Web. Oh yeah, Dr. Doom's also been unstatuified, which I forgot is what happened to him in the first movie, by the Silver Surfer's cosmic radiation, tries to take a swing, gets a shit kicked out of him, has allegedly been depowered, decides to work with the General to help bring down the Silver Surfer, inevitably betrays him.
Which was called ages ago.
Yeah, everybody saw it coming, except the General. Also funny, he wasn't apparently fully cured, he still kept his weird electric powers.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Also, apparently, I just learned this, and you probably knew this already, but the female captain that Johnny keeps on hitting on, apparently that is supposed to be Nova.
Yeah, but not one of the Nova Corps' Nova. She's a different Nova. She ends up becoming a Herald of Galactus, but not in this movie. In this movie, she's just there to be a love interest kind of for Johnny, by which, I mean, Johnny keeps pursuing her because of the fact that she's completely nonplussed by his bullshit and wants nothing to do with him. So naturally, they get together.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Was it ever actually said? I mean, she was at the second wedding, which would imply that she was probably there as Johnny's date, but then he incinerates the bouquet so she can't catch it?
Oh, that's good. Keeping up that bachelor lifestyle.
Johnny's a real prick.
Johnny's an asshole. Don't be like Johnny.
Don't be like Johnny, everybody. Be like Ben.
Unless you really want... Be like Ben.
Be a horrifying orange rock monster, because at least then you've got a shining personality.
Right.
Dr. Doom's inevitable betrayal happens. He ends up stealing the surfboard. Oh, right, the surfer ends up monologuing to Sue. So, the board was supposed to be the source of all of his power, right? That's it. That's his link to the power cosmic that he gets from Galactus. And yet, while he's imprisoned and the board is being kept from him, he's able to exposit his backstory to Sue by making basically a video of his backstory appear in his abs. And I'm so confused.
Oh, a TV through your intestines? So this is what they call a tube TV then.
He's a literal Teletubby. Oh, God. So Doom gets the board, incinerates a general. Now he's kind of all-powerful, I guess? The Fantastic Car busts out. It's a Dodge Hemi.
Okay, so there's this whole thing, but Johnny has these NASCAR-style jumpsuits for the Fantastic Four, and it has, like, a whole bunch of other products on it. I think there's, like, a McDonald's thing on it and a couple others, and then there's also a Dodge logo in the middle of this jumpsuit. I'm like, why Dodge? That seems to be the most off-the-rails thing here. And then the Fantastic Car shows up, and then it has the grill of a Dodge and the Dodge Ram logo on it. Oh, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, does it have a Hemi? Yeah, of course. It's like, how does it have a Hemi? It's powered by jet thrusters. There is no way it has an internal combustion engine. God fucking damn.
And if it has an internal combustion engine, the amount of greenhouse gases and other carbon emissions or whatever, I'm not a scientist, that it must be spewing into the atmosphere. For shame on you, Reed! For shame!
For shame indeed.
You're a lousy husband-to-be and a terrible environmentalist.
Yes.
Apparently a good dancer, though. Allegedly. Everybody seemed impressed by it. I was mostly horrified.
I was also pretty fucking horrified.
Honestly, my favorite bit is when he's doing that thing, and he's modeling the Big Bang, expanding the universe outward, and his fingers stretch out into a giant ball, and you could see that one model looking at him, and you know she's thinking of the possibilities, wink wink.
Yeah, during that scene, it's like, we're done talking about the Big Bang. They knew what they were doing, but it's still not a good choice of words.
No, definitely not, definitely not. So they try to fight Doom, and he's finally going ham, but it still feels like the wrong kind of ham for Doom. He says stuff like, "Let's all go for a spin!" And then he makes a cyclone that sends all the different Fantastic Car parts flying, and I don't know, there's a world in which somebody could make that work, but it's not this movie, and it's not this Doom, you know?
Yeah, he's going for honey-baked ham instead of blackened ham.
I'm not sure that's the kind of ham you want, but I agree that he's off. He then runs Sue through with a spear, probably because he's still bitter about them breaking off. I think they were engaged at one point. And the surfer gets convinced, I suppose, to help stop Galactus, but first they need to get his board. And they all realize, oh, it would take all four of us combined to beat Victor at this point, but we can't all go up there and sneak up on him. I know, let's give all our powers to Johnny. Somehow, they're all able to transfer their powers to Johnny, but he doesn't transfer the fire powers to them. You know, the explicit thing that this has done the entire time.
And it doesn't kill him somehow.
It doesn't kill him somehow, and then despite the fact that he explicitly needed Sue's invisibility powers to get the drop on Victor, he opens with, to quote a good friend of mine, "It's clobbering time," ruining the element of surprise and resulting in a big drawn-out fight because Johnny is terrible.
Right.
And also, I'm just gonna throw this out there, all four of the Fantastic Four combined could not stop Dr. Doom with power cosmic, realistically speaking.
Yeah, no, they could not.
If Johnny can't do it, then none of them can do it. Unless maybe you make an invisible force field inside of his head and explode it. But that's a little grim for a PG superhero movie. Wait, this is PG?
Was this movie PG?
Holy shit, there's no way.
I thought this would be PG-13.
It's PG?
Really?
Wow.
That's a shock.
Outstanding. Bring the kids.
Bring the kids. Hey kids, you want to watch Jessica Alba scream in agony while she's on fire and out of control? Yeah, Dad! Hell yeah! Let's go to the movie theater.
Okay, I sarcastically love, and actually I'm kind of disgusted by the fact that when they're focusing in on her while she's dying, they still make sure to get her ass in the shot.
The power of fan service.
God, it's just disappointing, frankly.
It's very disappointing.
So, they get the board back, Surfer takes it, and I guess he could have just stopped Galactus, who is a cloud. I feel like I don't want to harp on it too much because that's been set enough as an ultimate why this movie is bad. It's really not, but it's certainly indicative of how much they didn't really give a shit. Galactus is a fucking cloud.
Yeah.
And the Surfer can apparently just destroy them both whenever. But he was too chicken shit to do that. So he's condemned billions of lives to death, and then he finally decides, you know what, I'm gonna go out because this lady who reminds me of my, what was it, wife? His dead wife, his dead girlfriend, his dead something. Maybe it was his goldfish, I don't know. But either way, Sue reminds him of her, and in that spirit, he decides, I ain't going out like that, I'm going out like this. Blows them both up. Once again, the day is saved. Thanks to the Silver Surfer.
Thanks to the Silver Surfer.
Another wedding is had, this one in Japan. They decide to skip all the pomp and circumstance because Venice is sinking into the Adriatic. Which, holy shit, what? What's doing that? Is that Mole Man? That might be Mole Man.
Or it could be climate change.
Probably Mole Man. And, yeah, I mean, it's certainly a Fantastic Four sequel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It also made some money, but I think not as much as the first one. On a budget of $130 million, it did $301.9 million. So, ascribing to twice the production budget to account for marketing, it made a little bit of a profit.
Just made a profit, but not much of one.
Certainly not enough to justify going on with more if I was a studio executive, and they didn't. But that's kind of a shame, because among other things, they wanted to put Black Panther into a third film. Actually, you know what? I say that's a shame. That's probably for the best that they didn't get the chance.
Yeah, because then we would have been deprived of the wonderful Black Panther movies that we got.
Yeah, or at least they probably would have been different in response to this having come out, and then the rights reverting back. Oh god, we might not have gotten Black Panther until post-Endgame.
Oh, wow.
Because if they'd made a movie with him, the rights might have stayed with Fox up until the buyout. Huh.
That's true.
Boy, that's a weird future to think about.
It exists in the same alternate universe where Nicolas Cage plays Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And that movie actually comes out to theaters.
It's also a little interesting because Tim Story wanted Jimon Hansu to play Black Panther in a hypothetical third film. He would then go on to play Korath the Pursuer in Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Redemption.
It's kind of funny. I feel like the Fantastic Four movies have gotten progressively worse. It genuinely feels like each one is worse than the last one, and the best one is still the 90s one that never got an official release.
It is going to be amazing if this new one from the MCU is actually dog water, especially considering who they have as the leads. Could you imagine? We got Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, and the movie sucks ass.
I can't even imagine, but... Oh, man.
I feel like I would be sitting next to you in the theater, and this movie is going, and it's terrible. And I'm just watching you slowly, spontaneously combust over the course of the movie. There's a little bit of smoke and cinders at the beginning, and then when we get to the end, if we make it to the end, it's just like a full-on fireball, but it's only concentrated in the seat. It's not going to any of the other seats or anything like that.
Frank, I've had the most terrible thought.
Oh.
So, the reason Herbie was made for a Fantastic Four cartoon, I think it's because the Human Torch's rights were actually tied up separately from the rest of the Fantastic Four somewhere else, but...
Oh, no kidding.
There was a long-standing rumor that it's because whatever studio was responsible for the cartoon was worried about kids lighting themselves on fire to try to be like the Human Torch. I don't know why... I don't know why they weren't concerned about the kids putting themselves in a torture rack to be Mr. Fantastic or burying themselves in rocks to be the Thing, but go off, I guess. Now I'm just imagining that we're watching this movie in the movie theater, and it's terrible, and you just look over, and I'm just pouring gasoline on myself, and then I just strike a match, and just whisper, "Flame on!" And then
Flame on! Chris Evans comes into the theater. It's like, no, not like that.
One single tear in my eyes.
And he's not even there to put out the fire. He's like, no, you gotta say it with more moxie. Like, flame on!
Fuck you, Johnny, I'm having a moment!
Oh, God.
Look, the long-term ramifications of the Disney-Fox buyout, probably not great, but I am glad to see that Marvel is now able to make their own Fantastic Four movie, other concerns aside. I'm looking forward to that one, because I can't imagine that they make anything that turns out like this or Fantastic. So...
Right.
I see that as an absolute win.
Oh, yeah.
You got anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. Remember, kids, don't set yourself on fire.
Do not commit self-immolation.
And remember, adults, don't do that. It's important to remember.
Yeah, that too.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. I already did the plug, but, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you like this, because it helps us out. We appreciate it. I have no idea what we're going to do next month, because the best options that I would gravitate towards would require the next Cinema Synergy come out a week after this one. And...
Nice.
That's not happening. So, I get... If we really wanted, maybe we could do Freaky Friday, but that only gives us an extra week. Have you seen Nobody?
The first one, yeah.
Okay, maybe we could do that. But then again, having cut the John Wick episode, which I guess I didn't talk about in this...
No, not cut, rehomed.
We rehomed it. Yep, very good, very good. I guess we could do that. That might be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. In any case... Thanks again, everybody. Make sure to tip your servers and pay your fucking writers. And we'll catch you all in the next one.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!